Good morning, YouTube. It's me, all the way George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bottom Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, can you believe it? We have one more day left till the Olympia, the 60th Olympia. I mean, I've been following this sport for a long time, and I remember back in the day how women's bodybuilding and men's bodybuilding was separate. They had the Olympia at about the early in the year, and then the men had theirs later on. I mean, but it's changed, back in the 2000s, they decided to have a whole big Olympia weekend where it was dedicated to all about the divisions. And at the time, it was just, you just had women's bodybuilding, you had fitness, you had men's bodybuilding, and then it has grown over the years. You have at least 10 divisions. But as you know, as the content maker, I concentrate more on the particular divisions, most especially women's bodybuilding, but also, I do quite a few with physique, and I'm dipping into other divisions. I've got an interview coming up later this afternoon with a lady in wellness, my first wellness competitors. I've interviewed ladies who have switched over or some amateurs, but I have a bona fide wellness pro. I'm excited about that. So anyway, so the list is kind of set. There's some competitors who are not competing at the show. Some competitors are making it to show. I think in the physique division, there's a lot of debuts. There's more than half of the women this year are debuting in their first Olympia. Not a lot of the usual suspects. Some people didn't get qualifications. Some people have stepped away from sport or other issues. But like I said, the list is set, and it's the list I'm going to stick with. And you know what? Who I'm going to start with first? It's Andrea Shaw. I got to start with her. I am a fan of hers. I think she has a great physique, a beautiful body, a beautiful person. I mean, I still have my magazine she autographed. I'm so excited. Like, this could be possibly her 5th Olympia. That means she's going to surpass, Kim Zversky, and she's just an Olympia away from Corey Evenson. And she got way more Olympians to get to the levels of Linda Murray and some others, especially Iris Kyle. That's going to be a tough one to beat, most definitely. Next up we have is Andrea Yo. I'm a fan of Andrea Yo. I think she has a great physique, great body. I'm a fan of hers. As you know, she won the Rising Phoenix a couple of months ago, and she looked great. She looked great, but this is the Olympia. And I feel like she might have peaked too soon. As you know, when Andrea's on, she's on. She was off for that show because I think Andrea was kind of complacent. I was talking to some people sometimes thinking, Sam Wilson wasn't judging that show as different, somebody different, and that's why she won. She came in her best condition, and this is the Olympia. And Andrea says she's going to be ready. So I think, there's going to be a battle for this, but I feel still like Andrea's going to hold it. Next up, we have Aion Barito. Now, Aion, she was going to do the Rising Phoenix, but she dropped out of that show. And this is going to be her 3rd Olympia. As you know, she competed her first time in 2022. And, she was in the top 10. Then, last year she got 3rd. I mean, that's pretty good getting 3rd. And we're going to see what she's going to bring. She can crack the top 3 or maybe top 5. There's some impressive ladies on this list that could be top 3 contenders. Right here we have the lady who's been a 2-time Rising Phoenix champion, who's been top 3 in the last 2 years. She, last 3 years. I mean, she took 3rd in 2022. To me, I'm a fan of I think she's a great physique, but I think 3rd was too high. 4th or 5th would have been better for her. I mean, it was the year when she had recovered from an injury and she came back. She was in a top set of condition. I still think Jovic should have been 3. She should have been 3rd place. And that would have got her qualification for next year's Olympics. She wouldn't do any shows. But I'm a fan of her. She looks like she's a lot improved, working on some stuff. She has a new coach. I hope she does well. Next up we have is Lavena Bos. Lavena, she made her Olympia debut in 2022. She took last year off. She made some change adjustments, if you noticed. She competed in quite a few shows. She got a qualification in Romania. That was last year. Then she did New York, and she was in the Rising Phoenix. Young lady, impressive physique. I hope she does well. Next up we have is Teresa Anas. This is going to be her 3rd Miss Olympia. Teresa's been in the game for a long time. She's been a pro since around about 2017, 2018. She took a step back. She did physique for a minute, and that didn't last too long. And she went back to his bodybuilding. Missed the qualification last year. She did Tampa. She did also Toronto, and then she got a qualification for the third time at the Triple O Dynasty, being the first champion for that show. Hope she does well. Next up we have it is Julie Wetzel. She's just gonna be a second year as a women's bodybuilder at the Olympia. As you remember, she was physique. She made switch. She got a qualification in Toronto. She beat Teresa for that qualification. But then she got, I think she was top 5 at the Triple O Dynasty. Then she went to Vancouver where she got a qualification. That showed that she took second to Sher Pami back in 2023. Next up, we have the lady that I'm a fan of. I think she has great aesthetic. This woman has been, in her career as a pro, this is her 3rd division. That's Ashley Jones. Ashley is amazing. She's, like I said, you got to think about it. She was figure. Then she switched to physique, where she got 2 qualifications for the Olympia, and now her 3rd qualification, this time was bodybuilding. She was top 3 at the Rising Phoenix. Saw a picture of her, just some pictures originally. I posted them on my IG. She's crazy peel. She could maybe, most definitely crack the top 3 for this Olympia. So that means she might have to do another show if she gets top 3. I mean, she looks great, amazing. I'm just a fan of hers. I'm just, if you watch me, that one picture I got her from when she competed at the Olympia back in 2022 when she did physique. I love that picture. Next up we have here is Ava Manelo, and this is going to be her. This was a pro debut in women's bodybuilding. She turned pro around about, I think, 2022. She did Toronto where she got a qualification, and she looks top level. I think she's still a young up and comer. We haven't seen much of her since the Toronto she's not too social media active, but from this picture from Toronto, she looks amazing. She could be top 10 contender, top 5. It's all dependent. Some people are not competing this year, the usual suspect. So, let's see what she's going to bring. Next up is a lady who I've been a fan of, and that is Nadia Camaso, and she's from Italy. Nadia, she made a return after she took a step back. And remember, 2022, she went through some medical issues. So she decided to take a year off, and then she made a return. She did Toronto, where she was in top 3 at that show. Then she did the Imperial, where she won her qualification. Then she did the Europa. And personally, I wish she didn't do that. I mean, that cuts the numbers down. If you're already qualified, I'll say you want to be competitive. She's also, I think she's planning to do the Romanian Muscle Fest she won before when she got her 2nd qualification in 2021. But again, I wish she didn't do the Imperial. I mean, it takes away from the numbers. And that's why I wish there were more Olympic qualifications for women's bodybuilding. But wish her best of luck. I'm a fan of hers. Next up, we had Michaela Acock. And Michaela's been to Olympia ever since she turned pro. She's been at least 2 times in women's physique, and now the last 4 times in women's bodybuilding. Top-notch competitor, crazy shredded. Her muscles definition just crazy. One thing I wish she did, she should have skipped Tampa. Once you get your qualification, again, don't do a show and then you lose it, because it's just not a good idea. I mean, you just skip the show and focus on the Olympia, and then she also did Rising, because what's the point of doing the show and then you lose it? I know she won Tampa last year, but still, you already get your qualification. You won the show, the Atlanta back in 2022 the first time, and then you lost it, and then you won again. So this is something you got to learn. When you guarantee yourself a win, don't try to do it again. Just be happy with your win. Next up we have is a lady who had the pleasure on my channel, and it's a lovely Mrs. Sher Pami. Now, Sherry, this is going to be her 2nd year in women's bodybuilding. No, actually 3rd year. Because remember back in 2022, she was qualified by points. She did just enough to get her for the Olympia, but stuff happened. She had to, skip that. Then she won her first qualification at, I believe it was Vancouver, where you remember Julia Wetzel took 2nd. And then she did Portugal, where I felt she should have won, but the judges went with Anastasia Levanova. I mean, if she'd done that show, she went to do Chicago, she would have skipped it, and she got a qualification. Amazing lady, great personality, mom, dental hygienist. I mean, she's picking up. Just saw an interview a while back when she did for her local news channel, but I think she's a great physique. She was 4th last year. Maybe she might still hold that 4th or 5th. If you can stay in the top 5, that's good. Next up we have is Christina Mendoza. And Christina's been competing for quite some time. She's been a multiple-time Rise Phoenix competitor. She's been doing pretty good for herself. She's a posing coach also. Back last year, she was qualified for the Olympia, but then some stuff happened, medical issues. She had to take a step back. From what I've seen, she has a great physique, very great lines, very feminine. She won Tampa. Like I said, I've seen some stuff of it. It looked like she looks pretty good. She could be top 5, top 10 contender here. It's all dependent, especially how all the ladies come in and look. But like I said, she's amazing physique and she has a lot of potential. Next up we have is Alina Opre, and she's from Hungary. She's Hungarian. And she won the first Alina Popa Classic. As you remember, she was women's physique, but then switched to women's bodybuilding. She did Portugal, where she was, I think, third. I think she was right behind Sherry, and she did this show, and she looked pretty good. Some say maybe not as good compared to, I say, with Shauna Boswell, but some things, if the judges see that you might have better over one person, they go with you. So we wish you best of luck. And last but not least, in women's bodybuilding, we have here Hunter Henderson. As you know, Hunter turned pro in 2021. She was a phenom. She got her regional qualification. She made her pro debut. She made her bodybuilding debut 2021. Won her regional show. Won a pro card in USA's. Then took second to Mona Percival at the 2021 Tampa Pro. Now, there was hoping that she would come back or maybe try to get another show, maybe try to get qualification for that year's Olympics. But she took a personal step back from it. She knows she was a power lifter. I thought heard that it was some medical issues, but then she said it wasn't. I guess she just needed time to work and build on some things. She was second at Chicago, and then she won the Titan Grand Prix. If like I said, if Sherry had won the Portugal, she would have won Chicago, and then whoever else after her would have won the Titan show. We had good numbers. That's why I say like this. Hey, ladies, if you cannot make these shows, or this is me personally. If you are a qualified competitor and you can't make it to the Olympia, you're wasting the spot for somebody else who deserves it. So I'm just going to say that. But like I said, she's a impressive lady. I think she does well. Now, first we have here is the current 3-time Miss Olympia Physique champion. That is Sarah Vargas. Now, Sarah, she's been doing pretty good. She's been to the Olympia quite a few times. And then, 2020, she got won her first Olympia. Then 2022, she lost it to Natalia Quo. As you know, Sarah right now is doing a lot of promotions and backing up, especially her physique, women's physique division. She's one of the promoters and sponsors of the Texas Pro. I'm hoping maybe next year we can probably add women's bodybuilding to the Texas Pro. I think it needs to be there, especially a lot of female bodybuilders in Texas. It's a great opportunity. But Sarah's has been, like I said, I'm not a big fan, but I really respect what she's doing. She's putting her money where her mouth is. And that's what bodybuilding needs, women like her. And I wish, if Andrea had deep pockets like she did, I think Andrea can do more. But I'm glad that Andrea's got the triple O dynasty set up for women's bodybuilding and physique and figure. But like I said, Sarah, this is going to be, her condition is crazy. I think she changed the look of women's women's physique when she became the champion. Next up we have here is, some people's favorites. That is Natalia Quo. Now, Natalia, she's been kind of quiet this year. Not posting a lot of stuff on social media. She didn't do no competitions. That was a big surprise. She did, I think, right after the Olympia last year, she did Atlantic Coast Pro. And that's what the thing is. That's not fair. You were the former champ and number 2 for that Olympia, and you jump into a show which is a qualifier for next year. You took a spot for somebody who worked for that. I understand people say it's about competition, but no. You already have your spot. You don't have to be competitive. You just sit and chill and just do like Sarah do. Or Andrea just do the Rising Phoenix, and because she's off in contract to do that. And Sarah just focused on the Olympia and other stuff outside of that. But we all know that she's young, she's competitive, and that's what she wants to do. But she's been kind of quiet. I think she immediately thought that maybe it's time to just sit back and work on her Olympia opportunities here and try to just jump on somebody's show and get their qualification. Next up we have is Zaba Benta. I'm a fan of this lady. Her body is crazy, but she's another who's doing shows and she's already qualified. She's number 3. But it's tough. You got to think about it. If you get the number 3 Olympia coming in who's already qualified, you don't like it too much. But her physique is crazy. Now, she did compete in women's bodybuilding for half a minute. And her gains, her development, her back, I don't know how long she can stay in physique. But like I said, it's all depending on that person and how they grow and develop. I think she still has borderline physique look, but she's closer to women's bodybuilding. But like I said, she can probably maybe crack top 2 or maybe even take the title from Sarah. Next up we have is Luca Oruko, and she's from Romania. And she's one of the top female bodybuilders from Romania. You got a cat, Alina Opre, and her and another lady. She's won the Romanian Muscle Fest twice. I know she's going to do the show again because that gets a qualification. I hope maybe she might try to jump on another show. We'd love to see more of her and some other content to see how she does. But like I said, this is going to be her second Olympia ever since she's been a pro. Next up we have is Andrea Alfonso. What I know about her, she is a doctor. She competes in the natural shows, like she did the Ben Weider natural show. I reached out a while back for an interview, but never came out. I'd seen her a while ago. She had an interview on man, David Bryan. She looks pretty good. Let's talk to her. She might just maybe not compete this year because the Ben Weider show is coming up in a month, and that's also that's Olympic qualification. That's a natural class, but let's see how she does. I mean, it's a lot harder to use natural competitors to compete with the women who are more enhanced. Next up we have is Anne Gruber. Now, Miss Gruber, this is going to be also her first Olympia in women's physique. Just also saw did an interview with man David, if he's female body form. You can check it out. He's posted on his IG and also on his YouTube channel. Impressive lady, great physique. This is one where I feel like she has potential for women's bodybuilding. Now, I remember the first time I saw her compete was at the Savannah back in 2022. And I think she was top 5 at that show. But impressive lady, impressive physique. I think she might do well. Next, there was another lady who had the pleasure on my channel for an interview, and this is also like I said, there's quite a few ladies who are making their Olympia debut. We have here is Mariana Van Gieke. Yeah, I got her name wrong. I apologize. She's from Chile. She's a mother, a lawyer. A bodybuilder. And has a great physique. And she won at the Vancouver Island show. People say there's only 3 competitors, but hey, competition is competition, and win's a win. But like I said, I wish her best of luck. This is gonna be her first Olympia. And maybe in the future, you might see him again. Next up is another lady who I've been on my channel, who is also making her debut, is the lovely Miss Marika Jones. Marika did pretty good. Last year, she did like 4 shows, didn't get a qualification. Now, if it was points were still going, she would have enough points to do an Olympic because I think she crapped top 3, top 5 in most of the shows she did. Great physique, great looker. Some say she might be maybe close to women's bodybuilding, but that's a debate. She's a lovely lady. Proud of her. Hoping we can get back and chop it up again on my channel. We do another live stream and talk about her experience. I wish her best of luck. I hope maybe in the future we might see her make the Olympia again. Next up we have is another lady who I've present on my channel, and quite a few ladies in the women's physique I had doing interviews who just got the qualification, and that is Miss Natalie Ray Wolf. Now she's been competing for over 20 years. This is her first Olympia, and I remember seeing her compete at Savannah also back in 2022. Great lady, very proud woman, very respectful. She's really passionate about sport. Hope she does well this show. Possibly, where from seeing her, maybe top 10. Like I said, this is a deep lineup. Physique is almost nearly 20 women. Would have been a lot more if certain competitors didn't compete in shows and got qualifications. But like I said, numbers is just the thing. But I hope she does well. I think she's a great lady. Next up we have is Shieca Hit. Now Shieca, she's been a multiple-time Olympic competitor. She took a step back after her last Olympia. I think it was around like 2016. She came back a few years later. She competed for a bit, but then didn't do too well. Then she took some time off. She's a posing coach. She's working and training, and she decided to make her return this year. She did the New York Pro, where she got her qualification for I think the 6th time. And then she did the New York. Then she did the Texas Pro, where she was 3rd. Impressive lady, great physique. She's more of a throwback to maybe early women's bodybuilding, women's physique. I would say around about the 2014, 2015, around about the Judah McCart era. I would say great physique, great. She's really had made some adjustments. She also used to be in our United States Army, so I say thank you to her service. No, sir. As a citizen, I appreciate the sacrifice she has made for our country. I just recently saw that her and her girlfriend are now engaged. So maybe while they're in Vegas, maybe have a Vegas wedding. But, most women, they want a big wedding. So best of luck to her and congratulations. Next up we have is a lady I've become a fan of, and that is Natalia Bova. She is from Russia. This woman, can you believe it? She's 56 years old. Now, she got her pro card at the last year's Romanian Muscle Fest. And then she was, I think she was 4th. No, she was 4th at the Remain Muscat. She did her pro debut the day after she got a pro card. And this woman, her body's crazy. I mean, she got her qualification at Ultimate Classic, took second at the Omaha. Her body, so again, she's 56. She doesn't look like she's 56. She could be in her mid 40s. But, can't believe the woman's almost 60. Just almost 60. Her body's just crazy. I mean, wow. Wow. And the lady also making her Olympia debut is Susan Graham. Now, Susan, as you know, she's been competing for quite some time. She competed last year at a couple of shows, but didn't get a qualification. I think the last show she did was Legion show. And, one of my guys, my man, David Bryan's a big fan of hers. I think she's a lovely lady, has a great physique, a lot of potential. Very, I think she's a standard. I think what the judges want to see. Great physique, very feminine looking. Her abs are crazy. I think David loves her abs. I'm a fan of abs too. She has amazing physique. I would love to do an interview with her someday and talk about it. Her body of work. But I think she would do well. Like I think she has that look, and I think that's what the judges want. They want more of a throwback to women's physique, where it's more feminine. Also, you have a good amount of muscle. And so, another lady who had the pleasure of interview from the land down under, the lovely Mrs. Tracy Guile. And Tracy got her pro card. She, in Melbourne, she had to petition for it, and they give it to her right then. Then she made her pro debut in Toronto, got her qualification there. I mean, she beat out some top level competitors, and I'm a fan of Tracy. She's been on my live stream a couple of times. Great personality. Shout out to her. Much respect to her. I hope she does well this show. I mean, I remember I told her she had a Olympia level physique, and what happened? She won her first Olympia qualification. Great lady. I'm a fan of hers. I hope she does well. Next up, we have another lady who also been on here, Miss Sandra. I'm gonna say Sandra K. I don't want to mess up her name because she lives in Sweden, but she's actually from, I think, what was it? I forgot what she said. She was from, originally her family was from, but this was where her first Olympia. She made a debut back in 2018. Had some injuries and stuff. Set it out for a while. She works with Hella Trevino and also with their Pro Team 4 coaching. A great lady, great personality about her. I mean, been in contact with her for a good bit. Saw something that might worry me. I think she might be not competing at the show, but I'm gonna wait and see. As you know, they're gonna have a press conference later this afternoon. I'm gonna check if she's there. I hope she does. I think she's a great physique, great potential. This is an opportunity you don't ever want to miss. But like I said, if the body's not willing, you can't push it. So you just take care of yourself. Next up, we have is Anna Harris. Anna has been a pro since 2021. She's been to the 2020. Yeah, been a pro since 2020, and been in Olympia 2021. She took some step back for a while. Some stuff was going on. Then she decided to make return to compete. She was qualified by points in 2022, but she said she didn't want to go on by points. And I expect that. But hey, a win is a win. An opportunity to get to Olympia, you should take it. Never. I mean, I understand you feel like you earned it, but you did earn it. You did the shows, you competed. I understand you want to get there by your own merits, but fact is, when you get an opportunity like that, you should jump on it. Much respect to her. We did reach out for an interview, but certain situations happen, but I moved on for that. But she's impressive. She did both. She got qualification at the Atlanta Pro, did Chicago, and then she was, I think she was number 8 at the Texas Pro. And that's when she should have just stopped right there. She really, you took 8th where you were. You won the two shows back to back. So sometimes it's best for me to take a step back a little bit and focus on the big show. But hey, you got to think about it. She got $1,000 where most people wouldn't get that much at 8th place. But like I said, praise the lady. I hope she does well. Next up, we have is Janetta Johansson. As you know, she is from Sweden. I call her the little Swede. The big Swede, Irene Anderson. She's the little Swede. Impressive lady, great physique. I mean, she think she was top 3 at the Texas Pro, and then she won her qualification at Tupelo. Been in contact with her. Maybe someday I get to do an interview with her. I know one time she told me that her English is not that good, but hey, I've done interviews with ladies who have issues with English, but I need to slow myself down because I talk a little fast. But hope she does well. And we have is Jody Munchuk. Now, Miss Munchuk, she's been competing for quite some time. As you remember, we did a live stream. We had Janine Mikowski. And Janine used to compete with her when they get their pro cards. and she's been competing for in physique for a good while. Took a step back. She didn't do well in like a couple of shows, but then she won her first Olympic qualification at the Arizona Pro. It was close between her and Yvonne Pennington. I felt like Yvonne, could have got it, but the judges went with her. I could think, where she's gonna place. Depending with the other women, I don't think she's gonna place too high. I think she's gonna probably be one tied for 16th. Next up is a lady who's been a 3-time Olympian competitor, top 4 competitor, ever since she made her debut back in 2020. And that is a lady who also has been on my channel, the lovely Miss Barbara Majan. Wetzel Barbara Majan. Now, Barbara has been competing for quite some time. She took a step back in 2023 to focus on things. Then she came back at the Portugal Pro, which I felt she should have won. The person who won that show, it was a waste of qualification to give that to a person, but she came back to the Europa Pro, and now she's qualified for her 4th Olympia. There's a good chance, she's going to be top 4 again, maybe even top 3. Like I said, she has a great physique, great personality about her, much respect, and I hope she does well this show. And last, I'm going to say this, even though I don't do a lot of content on fitness, only a handful of competitors I know, but this lady, she could come out and do the interview, and that's one Miss Stephanie Jones. This year, Stephanie decided to get out of fitness because she was dealing with injuries and do wellness. She did a couple of shows. She did Toronto, another show, but then she went back to fitness, did the Arizona Pro, and got her 3rd qualification. She's a wife, a mother, a trainer, a coach, a friend. She's a great lady. Congratulations to her. I mean, she looked pretty good. I think the fitness might have helped her a little bit, especially with her legs. I remember I was watching some of her routine. Her glutes are crazy, unbelievable condition. That probably would have helped her too, because even with fitness, you have the posing routine counts a third of your points towards your judging. So she looked really good. I think, and I hope she does well this show. She might, again, maybe crack top 10. Like I said, there's only 12 competitors for fitness. So there's a good chance she might get top 10, top 5. Now, this is a complaint here. As you know, Anastasia Levinova won the Portugal Pro. And to me, if you don't have a visa, don't do shows. You're taking spots away from somebody who's already qualified, who probably deserves the qualification. I mean, I don't know what's going on. This is her 2nd time winning Olympic qualification, and both from being at Portugal. What's the point of competing if you can't do the Olympia? That's the biggest show in the world. This is opportunity. So you took a spot for somebody who probably more or less deserved it, who probably could make the Olympia. But she has a great physique. She has great potential. But whatever issue she has, she needs to fix that issue. Because you know what? You don't want to miss out of this. Her husband and I are talking about how yada, yada, yada. But if your wife can't make it to the show, what's the point doing all that talking? I know you want to, hype her up. That's good. But at the same time, it doesn't help if she can't make it to the big show. So either get out of bodybuilding, or if you got, fix it. Yes, I'm grabbing about it. I'm not going to bite my tongue. Biting my tongue hurts. Here's another lady who's been Olympia qualified at least 4 times, and that is Carolina Alvarez dos Santos, or Carol Alvarez. She was going to do a show, the Legion show, and then saw that she wasn't on the list anymore. She dropped out because she doesn't have a visa. And how long has she been competing in bodybuilding? You had 4 qualifications in your career, and you have not yet been to Olympia. Again, if you cannot make it here to the States and do Olympia, then here's the best thing: drop out. Or judges, if this woman doesn't have, she has a great physique, and she doesn't have a visa to qualify for the Olympia, then give it to number 2. That'd be fair. Like Barbara Majan would have to do the Europa show. She would have just had been it, and I think Nadine Phoenix would have got her Olympic qualification. She looked impressive. But again, to both her and Anastasia, if you do not have a visa to come to the States, stop competing in Olympia shows. Or judges, if you notice people don't have this visa, I know and say you want to be fair because you see their physiques are best. Give it to the person who deserves it. The second runner-up. Give it to them. Just say, hey, you can't do these shows. I know it'd be wrong, but hey, it's fair, because the fact is, if they can't do a show, they take them a spot and waste a spot. So that's it. That's me. That's my personal opinion. Like I said, they're gonna have the Olympia. As you know, I'm just gonna watch the first half of it. That is on Friday. and that's women's bodybuilding, physique, and some of the other divisions. Saturday is going to be men's and the others, but I don't care about those, so that's it. I'm done with that. But I am going to watch the live stream. I'm going to watch the first half of the amateur part, and I'm going to watch the prejudging and the finals, which is going to be really late at night, because they know it's in Arizona. They're 3 hours behind us, so I think by the final start, it's going to be like 9 o'clock my time. By the time it ends, it's going to be 12. I think they're going to have the men's open division at 12. That's crazy. That's kind of late. What is happening the next day? But I don't know. Like my man Jeremy says, it's like show management. They need to know how to manage your time. But anyway, you want to check it out. I'm going to leave the link to the live stream. You can watch it, support them, support the show. Shout out to my man David Bryan. He's there. Also, I think Glenn, my man Glenn, he's there also, Glenn Young. I would love to have been there. Personally, I would love to have been there. Lucky that they do in Arizona this year, because there's Milton hitting Florida, so it's been a mess. But I would love to have been there. If I could afford it, I would. But I can't. I'm balling on a budget. But shout out to the competitors. Best of luck, and congratulations on the ladies who got their qualification. Anyway, just my George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Don't like, subscribe. I'm out.